Welcome. Today we are continuing with Geography Paper 1, Question 8. Kindly subscribe. Question 8A1. Differentiate between intrazonal and azonal soils. Intrazonal soils are those soils that are formed under poor drainage conditions. For example, waterlogged areas, whereas azonal soils are those soils that have not had adequate time to develop. They are thus immature soils. 8A2. Key 3 examples of zonal soils. Azonal soils examples: mountain soils, alluvial soils, glacial soils. Louise, volcanic soils recently formed. Question 8B1. Explain 4 factors that influence soil formation. Parent rock. Nature of the rock influences the rate of weathering. For example, hard rocks weather slowly while soft rocks weather fast. The rock determines the soil texture. For example, large-grained rocks produce large-grained soils. Another factor is living organisms. They assist in the breaking down of rocks through burrowing. The roots of the bigger plants break up the soil as they grow and allow water to pass through. Topography. It determines the rate of weathering. For example, steep slopes encourage high rate of weathering. It influences soil depth. For example, gentle slopes have deep soils, while steep slopes have thin soils. It also influences soil drainage. For example, where land is flat, soils are poorly drained. Another factor is climate. Affects the rate and type of weathering that takes place. Determines the rate of leaching. Elements of climate, that is temperature, accelerates weathering, leading to soil formation. Another factor is time. For soil to reach maturity, time is required. Question 8B2. Give 2 factors that determine the color of soil. Type of parent material, chemical composition of the soil, drainage of the area. Question 8C. What is soil erosion? The process by which the topsoil is removed or carried away by various agents at a rate that is faster than it being replaced by the soil forming process. Explain 4 ways in which vegetation prevents soil erosion. The leaf cover helps to reduce the force of raindrops, which would otherwise loosen and remove soil particles if the force is not checked. The rate of infiltration of rainwater into the soil is increased by vegetation cover, thus reducing surface runoff. Plant cover breaks the force of wind at the ground level and reduces the transportation of soil particles, reducing the evaporation which would dry and loosen the soil. Decayed vegetation matter provides humus which binds the soil particles together. Question 9. Question 9A1. Name a country in Africa where temperate grassland is found. South Africa. State 4 characteristics of temperate grasslands. Treeless except along water courses. Grass is short and tough in the drier areas. Grass is tall in the moist areas. Grass withers in autumn and dies in winter. Grass sprouts in springs. Grass is nutritious. Question 9 B1. Explain 4 ways trees in the coniferous forest have adapted to the environmental condition of the region. The trees have conical shape and flexible branches to allow snow to slide off easily, thus minimizing damage to the trees. Most trees are evergreen so as to have maximum utilization of sunlight during short drowning season. Needle-like leaves help to reduce the loss of water from the trees in winter when there is no moisture to be absorbed from the soil. The tree trunks are flexible to enable them to sway without breaking during strong winter winds. The leaves have a tough, waxy skin which protects them from the winter cold. The trees have a widely spread root system for utilizing moisture from the topsoil, since most of the time the subsoil is frozen. Factors that determine zoning of mountain vegetation. We have altitude, aspect, slope, temperature, and moisture availability. Question C. You are required to carry a field study on a forest near your school. Describe the methods you would use to determine each of the following aspects of trees in the forest. Age of trees, asking the local people, or you ask a forest officer, observing the rings on the tree trunk and counting them to find out the age of the trees, by estimating the age of trees, referring to the available records to know when the trees were planted. Height of trees, by estimating the height, by measuring the exact height of samples of trees and generalizing. Calculate using the ratio of height of near short object in relation to height of its, and you relate to the shadow of the tree in relation to its height. Tree species, by walking through the forest observing and noting the various species, by interviewing the local people, by reading through available records. Question 10. The figure below shows underground zones of saturation. Use it to answer question A1. Identify the zones marked A, B, C. A, B, C. A, this is a zone of permanent saturation. Zone B, it is intermittent saturation. Zone C is zone of non-saturation. Name 4 sources of groundwater: rainwater, lake or seawater, meltwater, platonic water. Question 10b. Explain 4 ways in which groundwater is of significance to human activities. Sources of rivers. Many springs are sources of rivers that provide water for domestic use. Groundwater is used for irrigating the land all over the world, thus promoting agriculture. Groundwater influences the development of settlements. Hot springs are a tourist attraction. At the mouth of many hot springs, valuable mineral salts are deposited and people exploit them for economic gain. Question C1. Give 2 examples of lakes in East Africa that have formed due to crustal warping. We have Lake Victoria, Lake Kionga, Lake Wamala, and Lake Kachere. Describe how the process of crustal warping leads to formation of lakes. Earth movements cause crustal downwarping. This leads to the formation of basin-like depression. Uplifting of land masses around the depression diverted to the flow of rivers into the depression, causing reverse drainage. Deposition onto the depression resulted into further downwarping. Water from the rivers accumulated in the depression to form a lake. State 3 other processes that lead to formation of lakes apart from crustal warping. We have faulting, volcanicity, erosion, deposition, meteorite falling, and human activities. Did you understand? Kindly let me know in the comment section below. Also let me know what video you can look at tomorrow. Thanks a lot for subscribing and listening to me. God bless you.